Welcome back to the Euro roundup, and it's international week, which means we've got boring results, we've got rubbish fixtures, there's no clubs, it's all about the countries. Michael McCubbin is back from a country, the Ivory Coast. How was it?
It was great.
How was Blessing?
Fantastic. Yeah, she was fun. She didn't get back to me.
If you'd like to know more about that, go follow him on Instagram. Anyway, Michael, we go to our first section, which is Twitter beef, and this one comes from @RanveerPandit, and they have said, this England team will go the furthest in the last 10 years because expectations are so low. Mikey McCubbin, how do we feel about that?
Yeah, a bit of a funny statement, Ranveer. I mean, I don't think expectations really have anything to do with how a team does. I don't think England will do, like, whatever England do this summer won't have anything to do with our expectations being low. So let's cut that bit out of it to go with. But I see your statement. England team will go first in the last 10 years. Yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty awful 10 years. So it's not out of the question. Obviously, 2010 World Cup second round, battered by Germany. 2012 Euros quarterfinals, the Italy penalties. 2014 World Cup out of the groups, obviously. And then, last Euros, we all know what happened there. So there's not that much to live up to, really. And I guess, if we got to the quarters of the World Cup, that would probably count as progress, which I think is probably possible. But we've got a good team. We've got a decent enough spine, but it all kind of depends on Southgate's tactics, I think, when it comes to the tournament. And I have a bit of an issue with our central midfield. Last tournament, I thought our defence was our weakest link. But now I think our defence is better. Stones has had 2 years playing under Pep at City, which I think has really helped. He is now, I think, a top quality centre-back. But yeah, our midfield is creaking, I think. I think the fact that Wilshire's making it in there, and he's only really had about 3 months of top level football. Experience recently, it says a lot.
I think it's interesting that in the Netherlands game he played Carl Walker at centre back, which
so on the right of a
back three. However, like in previous England managers, they've had criticism for not doing things like this, being too traditional. This time, Gareth Southgate has done it. He's playing a three-back. He's taken Carl Walker, who's usually on the right wing, and put him into centre-back. And can he be blamed for this? If he goes to this World Cup trying new things, playing Dele Alli maybe at centre midfield, or trying different things like Carl Walker at centre-back, how do you feel? Because my biggest issue as an England fan, I've always found, is when they come back from the World Cup, it's not even been exciting. It's not even like, you've not even enjoyed it. At the end of the day, if they went there, played the best football possible, and lost to Brazil, and came back, that's all we want. And we'd treat them as heroes. They haven't won the World Cup. They'd get a better reception than they do every time they come back and the papers are saying losers.
For sure, yeah. We don't. Yeah, we tend to not. I mean, we tend to be pretty uninspiring in terms of our style of play in tournaments, for sure. Whether that means, I don't know. Like, I think England managers actually, I feel like have come into it for a lot of criticism for changing things up in the past. I remember Sven came under fire a lot for switching to 4-3-3s. I mean, that was years ago now. But like Hodgson, for example, he was known as being almost too conservative. I seem to remember against Wales, he brought on Vardy and Sturridge at half-time, and everyone was so shocked.
Then again, Sturridge did score the goal.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. No, that was a break away from we were used to with him. So yeah, I think you can't take away from Gareth Southgate the fact that he is trying new things. Yeah, and let's not forget that he was the manager to finally drop Wayne Rooney, who obviously has been underperforming for England for a number of years. So yeah, and one final thing as well. I mean, we do have genuinely our best attack in a long time. So
undoubtedly.
Even if we do, like you say, crash out, like there is a chance that we'll play some entertaining football. Rashford, Ali, Sterling, and Kane are all better than they were 2 years ago as well. Let's remember. So yeah, I mean, we could see some flair at least, which would be good.
As for expectations, you have to remember we're England fans. Once we get to June, once the World Cup song is out, we all believe we can win the amazing trophy. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think? Can England make it past the quarter-final? Let us know in the comments below.
So enough with that. Our first winner of the week comes from @SayerR7 on Twitter. Thank you very much. And no surprises who it is, considering his Twitter handle. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, who's CR7.
Yes, it is. The Portuguese man bagged 2 goals, both past the 90th minute to beat Egypt 2-1. And who else is going to score Egypt's goal? it had to be Mohamed Salah, hoping to get his nation's first ever win against the European champions. That is now his 38th goal of the season for club and country, which, quite frankly, is unbelievable. What a season he is having. But his goal-scoring rival, Cristiano, got the laugh, got the words out eventually.
The laugh last.
The Portuguese man has scored in each of his last 9 competitive games. Guess how many goals he scored, Michael?
How many?
19 for Real Madrid and Portugal.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
I believe that is a rate of more than 2 a game for all you maths heads out there.
Mathematician.
Bitches.
And who else got the assist? It was none other than Quaresma, who got both. They have a combined age, Ronaldo and Quaresma, of 67. There is still life in the old dog.
They tend to link up quite well for Portugal as well, don't they? They always seem to be involved.
They both got that sort of character in it. Quaresma's a bit of a naughty boy, and Ronaldo's a bit of a
naughty boy meets pretty boy. They complement each other nicely.
What are we saying?
Anyway, carry on with what you were saying, Zach.
Anyway, thanks to his 2 goals, Cristiano is now 3rd in the all-time top international goal scorers on 81 strikes, 3 behind the legendary Puskas and 28 behind Ali Daei, who had the privilege of playing easy teams basically week after week. But Michael, tell me a bit more about the game in general.
I will do, but just to say, congrats, 81 strikes. I didn't even realise he was near that. That's pretty amazing to have that goal scoring record for club and to have that for country as well. So Cristiano, pretty special guy, isn't he? Anyway, back to the match. Portugal, deserved winners despite snatching it late on. 59% possession, 18 shots to Egypt's 5. And they also managed 6 on target. So a good performance from the boys. They're now unbeaten in their last 6 games as they carry on their warm-ups for Russia. They could actually go into the tournament as a bit of a dark horse, I guess. Let's not forget they did win a tournament.
With Cristiano Ronaldo.
I guess not, but they did win a tournament 2 years ago without winning a game winning 1 game, wasn't it? They won 1 game in 90 minutes. For Egypt, actually, their preparations for their first World Cup in a long time, can't remember how long it's been, but it's been a long time. They've won just 2 of their last 8. Despite having the man that is Mo Salah in their squad. But they're still strong contenders to get through their group. They've got Uruguay, obviously everyone fancies Uruguay usually, but they are playing all the way over in Russia, so they don't have that South American advantage. They've again got Saudi Arabia, nice little derby there. And then the home nation Russia, who do have home advantage but are rubbish. So I'm with you on that, George, who wrote this part of the script. I'd say Egypt probably you probably fancy them to go through. Portugal, meanwhile, they host Holland tonight, who obviously aren't at the World Cup. The Netherlands can just focus on trying to rebuild a bit of national pride. George has got down here not long left until CR7 faces a load of his Madrid teammates as Portugal take on Spain in their first game. In Russia. So another derby there, and I believe that both those countries also play Morocco, so another little Mediterranean derby there as well. So all the derbies are happening. What a World Cup it's going to be. I'm very excited.
We move on to our first loser, and it's RB Leipzig, because they're about to lose a player. But who is it, Michael?
Apparently Timo Werner, their star striker, is set to leave Leipzig this summer. Not wholly surprising. What is surprising though, apparently it's another German who's in for him. Jurgen Klopp, according to Bild, is preparing to break Liverpool's transfer record and splash out £87.5 million to bring him to Anfield. And it's clear he is a big talent. 87.5 million in the current market. You know what, actually, it's probably worth it. So far this season, Werner's scored 11 league goals for the 6th place at Leipzig. That puts him as 4th in the top scorers in the league. He's currently scoring a goal every 172 minutes, which is inferior to last season, and compared to Europe's best this season isn't fantastic. However, his shot numbers have climbed. He's now taking 2.8 shots per game to 3.6. Also means that his conversion rate has gone down considerably. But then again, Leipzig haven't been performing as well this season, have they? He's also the youngest player to reach 150 games in the Bundesliga. So experience he has in droves. And probably means that he'll probably be peaking a little bit earlier than we would see with some other strikers. So probably the best time to get him is now. And have down here that maybe Klopp's looking to reunite him, or unite him, again, because they're already together, with Naby Keita, who obviously is on his way to Liverpool this summer as well. But Zach, what do you think? I personally think this is maybe a little bit of a weird move, considering their attacking options. Right?
It is, and according to Werner, it's been reported he's been unsettled by the undetermined future of head coach Ralph Hasenhüttl. But yesterday, whilst on international duty, Werner responded to the story saying, RB Leipzig director Ralf Rangnick has always said that he would not let me go, even if I wanted to leave. However, they also said that about Naby Keita, that he wouldn't leave the German side under any circumstances. And he's off to Liverpool in the summer, so there is a possibility if you're willing to spend the big money. It's also worth keeping in mind that the 22-year-old will be leading the German attack at this summer's World Cup. So Klopp will be keen to get him through the doors early so there's no hassle later on. Now, do Liverpool need him is the real question we should be asking. They're the second English team to score 100 goals this season in all competitions behind Man City, obviously. And they're the fifth highest scorers in Europe, one behind Barcelona. But they do lack a traditional number 9. However, the front men that they've got, they don't necessarily need one as they're producing the same sort of chances and more. Salah is taking 3 shots in the box, 0.7 more than Werner. Firmino's producing twice the amount of key passes, and Mane is a much more adept dribbler. So, getting him in wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. However, they could spend that money in other positions. Chan is about to leave, however, Keita's about to come in. Maybe defence, give someone to back up Virgil van Dijk. Joe Gomez is great, Lovren is not, and the others aren't. And the keeper-wise, can you really trust the guy in goal?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, I think, yeah, I mean, defence, I mean, not even in the centre-back roles. I think they maybe need to cover at right-back as well. I don't know how Klein's going to recover yet. Midfield, they could still do with another, someone else to bolster that midfield as well. But in terms of forwards, I think they need another wide forward, surely, like at least a backup. Yeah, there's that to contend with, but you also need to get a player who's happy to sit on the bench quite a lot. And Werner's not going to be happy to do that, and neither will like a top quality wide forward. So yeah, a bit of a, I don't know, catch-22. Can you call it catch-22? I'm going to call it that. But what do you guys think? Let us know. So our second winner comes from @Romario V976, and if you hadn't guessed by his name, it's Brazil.
It's almost like they're made up.
Almost.
I'm not too sure.
I have faith that this man exists, though. Zach, take it away. What do they do?
Yes, they beat Russia 3-0 in Moscow with goals from Miranda, Coutinho and Paulinho. All 3 goals came within 13 second half minutes. And they thrashed them. 63% possession, 24 shots to 10, 13 on target to Russia's measly 4. Brazil now are unbeaten in 8 games and look very good here, particularly without Neymar featuring. Paulinho has also continued his great scoring record for his country. He now has 6 goals in his last 9 games for Brazil and is actually averaging a goal every 0.3 games since 2009. That's the same record as Frank Lampard throughout his career, which is not bad.
Frankly, fantastic.
Oh my God. You realise who writes me down right now? Yeah. Anyway, Tite went with the front line of Willian, Douglas Costa and Gabriel Jesus, with Coutinho and Paulinho flanking Casemiro in midfield. But Michael McCubbin, if you were Russian right now, how would you be feeling?
I'd be pretty worried. We're just about to post the World Cup and my team is absolutely shit. Their recent form says it all. They've last 5 games, they've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 2. That victory was over South Korea, and no disrespect to South Korea. They've got a couple, well, 2 or 3 pretty good players, but they did also lose to Northern Ireland on the weekend, so let's dig them up on that. Not very good either. Russia have conceded 2 goals a game in that period, and not a single member of their starting lineup plays outside of Russia, which is pretty crazy. Although Russia have been given 3 Champions League places next season, which is one of the highest in Europe. So maybe the Russian league isn't so bad, but there's not no Russian team is making it far in the Champions League, is there?
Not many Englishmen play outside of England, so
they don't. But English clubs also do fairly decently in Europe, and they play on some good managers as well. No disrespect to Mancini there, disrespecting everyone today.
Digging them out, mate.
Yeah,
digging.
Fat chance of me going to Russia this summer. But you can see why Brazil are joint favourites to win alongside Germany. Apparently they are at 5-1, according to a bookmaker, or maybe multiple bookmakers. Yeah, they have a squad brimming with talent. Like that forward line you were talking about, and that midfield. That's not necessarily their strongest lineup, is it? And that is really, really tasty. I'd take that for England any day. And yeah, they haven't lost a competitive game since October 2015. Like, this is crazy, like, considering how bad they were before that. They lost 2-0 to Chile then, who have since dropped off in their form. 17 games, they've won 12 games and drawn 5 of those 17 games. So yeah, Tite has worked absolute wonders. And I think they've hit this form at the perfect time, haven't they? They're in a group with Costa Rica, Switzerland and Serbia, you know, so they'll easily win that, you'd expect. And if Neymar is back, which we do hope he will be, because it'll be great to see him light up this tournament while he's at his peak, yeah, you can expect big things from Brazil. But what do you reckon? Do you think Brazil can win the World Cup?
100%. I think they might do it, in fact.
Yeah.
Brazil to win the World Cup. But what do you guys think? Can they do it? Vote in the poll above Michael's head and let us know. We move on to our last loser, and it's Italy at the suggestion of Ali Abdu, and they lost 2-0 to Argentina with goals coming from Banega and Lanzini at the Etihad. And quite frankly, Argentina dominated. They had 61% possession, 14 shots to 7 with 8 on target to 4. And Italy's poor record against the Albiceleste continues. They've played 6 games, they've won 2, they've drawn 2 and lost 2. They've not won one since the 1982 World Cup.
About 35 years, I believe.
But the night wasn't about that. It was Italy's first match since the unfortunate passing of Davide Astori on the 4th of March. There was a 1-minute silence, and the message of Davide with us forever was on the kit to pay tribute to the centre-back who won 14 caps for the Azzurri. Buffon also made his 176th appearance for Italy, a European record, which quite frankly is unbelievable. That's amazing. And so that Astori's death was the reason he reversed the decision to retire from international football. And quite frankly, he had a superb game.
Yes, Buffon, obviously a good friend of Astori. He was very, very emotional in the aftermath of the tragedy. But yeah, I mean, either way, good to see him back in an Italy shirt. I think we'll agree. We'd just like to see him playing forever. And he might just do that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised. But back to the game, this was dubbed a clash between Immobile and Higuain. Obviously, Serie A's 2 top goal scorers, absolute mammoth strikers this season. But obviously, yeah, like you're saying, it was actually Banega who finally broke the deadlock in the 75th minute, barely 10 minutes after he'd come on the pitch. His 6th goal for his country in his career. But yeah, for all Argentina's attacking flair, we all know they have a lot of it. They're obviously a bit thin at the back. Willy Caballero at the grand old age of 36. Congratulations, my friends. First Argentina cap. How is that possible, considering that, you know, Argentina aren't known for their goalkeepers? And Caballero is a half-decent one. At the back, they started Bustos of Independiente, Otamendi, obviously we know he's here, Fazio from Roma, and Tagliafico, who's currently struggling to get a game at Ajax. So they've got 2 backup keepers, and yeah, a back line who feature a player who can't even get into the team either. So yeah, bodes well for the World Cup. But having said that, they've only conceded 16 in 18 qualifying games. That's the second fewest after Brazil in South America. So, you know, maybe we are being deceived by appearances. And let's not forget that Argentina's back line, or defence in general, at the last World Cup was outstanding. One of the reasons why they got so far. So, so yeah, let's not jump to conclusions here. And yeah, surprisingly, it's actually up front where they struggle. Only scored 19 goals and failed to score on 5 occasions in qualifying. So, they've literally got one of the best attacking lineups in the history of international football. Tune into Football Mundial tomorrow. We'll discuss a bit more about that because one of them might not be making it to the World Cup. Yeah, they were playing very weak Italy side as well, who have now won only 1 of their last 5 games, and that was against Macedonia. Obviously, they didn't make it to the World Cup either. So yeah, national morale at an all-time low for Italy. But back to Argentina. Will they be able to win the World Cup? We know we asked about Brazil, but I don't know. What should we say? Will Argentina go far? I don't know. What do you reckon? Let us know in the comments below.
So that's it. That's the end of ERU. Are you happy? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you think of the results and have we missed out on any other matches. Hit us down there and hit us on the social medias. Twitter, the Instagrams, the Michael McCullum personal Snapchat. Anyway, Michael.
I don't have Snapchat.
Yeah, of course not. What should they do now?
They should head over to FDFC Curveball and go and check out last weekend's non-league vlogs. Sorry, I forgot the name of my own show. Featuring myself and James Wayne behind the camera, who's laughing away. And yeah, it was really good. We went to Dulwich Hamlet, interviewed a rising star, so that was pretty fun. Zach, anywhere else they should go?
That was the champion. Stay here. The first episode went live on Saturday. It was Joe versus SE Don's very own Don Stratzy.
The Don.
Make sure you check it out and see who made it through to the next round. And it's coming out again this Saturday, episode 2. But wait to see who they are. Have a good Monday.
See ya.